heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager meaning. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you. And
Peace, 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 and love. Peace and love. Islam and love, Sheik.
Peace, peace. How y'all doing today, man?
Very good. Good.
Peace, peace,
Islam,
man. Just want to say our Moorish American prayer one more time. Could you give it to us one more again, Noble, if you don't mind?
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Asha Ayah, Islam, Amen, peace, light, and illumination. Islam.
Islam. Peace, 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 peace to everyone. Before we do this little, we're just going to give a little introduction of some history today. But I got a beautiful email, brother, yesterday was like, man, this is a beautiful, safe space. And he was like, I always like to share what people always suggest. And he was like, brother, I suggest you get someone like a moderator on your personal page as well, so we can keep up with names and just make sure we block things so it won't be messing with the message. But with that being said, man, I want to say gratitude, not only for what's going on in the world, but for gratitude to y'all brothers, man, and trusting your spirit, man, and continue to go, understanding that more science is for the family. And we're just going to keep on doing things that's right, regardless of what the world feel, or how can we say trolls. That's what we're here for. Everyone's not meant to like us. So I just wanted to say that as we're doing this work. But today I wanted to talk about a topic, man, that a lot of times we may understand, we may not understand. That's why we have these classes when we say civic class or history or prehistory, antebellum, whatever you want to call it. We talk about certain topics in context. And a lot of times on social media, Nobles, people just be all over the place, just asking questions that's not in the context, which is okay. And I tried to be just like yesterday when I was live, Noble Dantes, and I was trying to answer questions and be, how can I say, studious and respect everyone. But sometimes with the territory, social media, you're going to get a lot of distractions, but you have to know how to tread in all that, because we have work to do. But a lot of topics people may talk about, and I want to have an open topic today because it's our history and civics class. When we talk about human rights and civil rights, we should know those two. Now, we should know the difference and the similarities, if there are any, but at least what we should do as truth seekers and those that understand who we are, understanding our nationality, our spirituality, understanding our status, understanding our race, we should be able to have that conversation, because the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, clearly says that we have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. no one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it, and the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. Those are just historical, facts. The House Joint Resolution 75, when you have the right to annex your L or Bay to your name. The religious rights of the indigenous people. Those are things in the Constitution that we should know. We should know, no matter what you may say, well, whatever vernacular you might use to identify yourself, when we're moving as a people, it should be some things that we must agree on, no matter what so-called religious banner you under. Because if you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, and if you understand the science that we operate on, we operate under the triple roads. We have a clear understanding of all the three religious rights, which all of them are monotheism in their essence, but we have a clear understanding. That's why we here at the BBT, when I say when you were a student, when you were noble, you are an adept. You can go into any religious house and adapt. Why? Because all the holy books, we have a clear understanding. They all saying the same thing. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you must. That's the thing with man. So when we're dealing with the historical aspect, when we're dealing with a nationality and spirituality, when we're dealing with human rights and civil rights, we have to know the two. We have to know the two. And if anybody want to add anything or interject or anything, please do as we're going, because that's what class is for. So I'll just give a little, a prerequisite of historical, I won't say issues, but maybe certain situations in history that maybe a lot of individuals, I don't care if they're Moors or Hebrew Israelites, whatever they want to call themselves, but it has to be some historical things that brothers that look alike, melanated, what if you want to call religious tribe, whatever you want to call yourself, it has to be some things that we have to agree with. You can't just sit here and argue over and over just to be arguing, Noble Dantes, for the sake of arguing. That's insanity. And for a group of people, we have to understand Constitution. We have to understand it and say the fight that some people fighting is not your fight, Dantes. If we understand the religious rights, if we understand the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment, if we understand manumissions, if we understand everything that we've been discussing for years, and if people understand the position that I'm in, come on, man, it's already been tested. I mean, it's already been tested. We must walk out the house in unison. I mean, I'm down with reparations too. Noble Drew Ali was down with reparations. But you understand, Negro, Black, or color, African Americans will never get reparations. Never in life. And we can have that discussion. It's never going to happen. It's civil mortals. If anybody will argue with you, especially I won't say, yes, I will. An attorney that will lie out their mouth, that would be easily destroyed. Easily. Without even sweating. Somebody want to say something?
It's on. No, you good, Sheik.
Islam. These things must be talked about. It must be shared. I'm not no what they call them things on the internet when they go viral. I'm not one of these dudes on the internet that's doing these things for likes and dollars and boxing little kids and stuff for likes and views. No, we're here to teach. So we should share this. This is our nationality and our spirituality. Our life depends on this stuff. Like, this is what I be saying to brothers and sisters. It's like, yes, our spirituality is deep, but our nationality, that makes us a complete fifth. You have to understand this. When the prophet was in the flesh, then you see the uniting of Asia, when all those brothers that created what? The temple and the Silent Brotherhood of the East, all them Masonic brothers, all them brothers under different cloths came together under what? Understanding. This is no separation. We letting people draw a line down our back. That's why we are called the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Why? Because we a temple and a school of brothers and sisters, of anybody that's like-minded could come and learn because I have all the holy books and they all come from the tablets and this facts, and the person have to teach it the right way for a child can understand. When a child can understand, when I'm using the mind frame of understanding, we all can grow. That's what this is about. This ain't no gatekeeping here. I put the work in. I've been in the lion's den. All my muftis know that. I mean, come on. This is a real dojo. I'm just a sensei in the flesh. This like, I give an analogy, brother, where everybody talk about this mystical God stuff. But see, in our culture, we have brothers that save people lives. The Prophet Noble Ali changed people's lives. Elijah Muhammad changed people's lives. I ain't mad at my Muslim brothers for looking at Elijah Muhammad like that in the flesh. I'm damn sure ain't mad at my Moorish brother for looking at our prophet like that. We talking about people in the flesh. How can a man say they love God they never seen, but hate their brother that do the work in real life? I ain't that ignorant in the mental. I ain't that ignorant in mental just to deal with something I never seen. We got real men that's doing this work today. In our 101s, it says, well, the prophet and the angel. A man, a woman that's clothed in the flesh, that's giving a divine message and a divine warning. We have to gravitate to this. I keep talking about solidarity, regeneration. Don't we know what these words mean? Resurrection. This is not complex. None of this stuff is complex. Like my professor saying, why don't they put you on a panel with all them people talking that black stuff and they're going to have to be quiet. This is my professors are. They say they might not like your candor, but hell, who the hell cares? They say you're going to prove what you're saying without a doubt. Without a doubt. In front of any pro-black, anybody, with anything, with facts, with the scholarship, not with feelings. Not with feelings.
It's long.
You know, I'm not dealing with feelings. I'm not dealing with people emotions. You know, people be coming with me, want me to do things. I'm like, man, we have to do our own things. That's why, man, I can talk about so much, y'all, and the mental of a lot of Moors, the mental, the instability of the mental. Because a lot of Moors done got so misconstrued with stuff they've been seeing on the internet and oh, you can help me get out of this trouble. You can do this. That's not Moor science. If you got a criminal case, then that ain't got nothing to do with me. People be wanting me to look at their case. I said, dude, I can't take over no case of somebody already been in trouble. That ain't how I rock. This ain't no magical stuff. This ain't no basement attorney stuff. This is what I be telling people. I be telling people, I'm like, people are going to get in trouble. Watch all these people that got videos. It's a dude called Factor Fraud. And he be talking about all these Moors mental. And he said the only reason why he used Bay because it attract Moors. He don't believe in Moor science. He like, hell, he say most of these Negroes stupid. I know these people, they say, well, you Sheik, you an educator, you a teacher. This Moor science, this historical part that I teach is that. But I don't deal with criminals. This is what I tell people. If you're a criminal, then you need to get a criminal attorney. This is what I be telling people. They be on the internet, want somebody to look at their case. I said, dude, I don't even know you for one. And people want you to wait. Ain't nobody paid me nothing. Ain't nobody hired me to do nothing. This is the mental of these Moors. They be, oh, Shiki, I found you. You can handle this. I can't handle nothing. This is the mentality. What's going around? Adults, Moors. And they be mad. I said, the mentality. The mentality. Somebody that's hit you up on the internet and spill their whole life to you. That's something wrong with the mental. And there's no disrespect to no one. Or can you help me get my daughter back and all this? How can I do that? I don't even know what's going on. Do you understand what I'm saying, Dantes? I hate to go off the subject, but it needs to be brought when people jump into my page. Islam?
Islam. We can't help you do some things that, I mean, if you committed a crime and you can't run away from that. You need to handle that.
I've been there. I'm 48 years young, getting ready to be. I tell Moors, when I look at paperwork, you can't just tell me a whole bunch of stuff, because if you talk to the police, you already told. You got a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Nothing you say can help you in the court. If you ain't getting immunity, you need to shut the hell up. So when you start running your mouth, you already told. It's just like Dantes got a court-appointed attorney for a year or two, and then all of a sudden say, okay, you met somebody on the internet and want them to take over your whole case. Man, please. Do you know the time and the process that takes for to look at the paperwork? You understand what I'm saying, Dantes?
I do. It's long.
This is what I be saying. This is what I be saying. The mentality of a lot of adult Moors. When they think it's some magical genie, when they think Moore's got some magic paperwork that can get them out of jail, and I'm telling you, it ain't none. If they've been watching my videos and YouTube forever, what makes them think that? If I talk about everybody that's doing it, I say any more that's with that sovereign citizen stuff is following some European Albion Trillerdike, Roger Elvick paradigm group stuff, militia stuff. You going to jail. I mean, what are we talking about? It ain't no paperwork that you can file. The council, of course, if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen or vice versa, if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, that Moor are going to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. What are we talking about?
The law.
What are we talking about? You see? This is what I be saying. We are a nation of laws. We have to have some understanding. So when people be hitting me up and saying, "Sheik, you said that paperwork you said that paper you sent me wouldn't work," I ain't saying nothing. No paper wouldn't work. What you talk about? Somebody criminal case? I ain't looking at nobody criminal case. That ain't my job. Hell, and I ain't nobody legal service, but my muftis that I have their best interest. I don't have nobody best interest that just look me up and ask me a million questions and send me a whole bunch of damn documents like I'm about to read that. You got me bent. I ain't reading none of it. I'm gonna tell a person out their face. I'm not reading none of the stuff. Person send me 50,000 documents like I'm finna read somebody. I'm not reading that. No disrespect. Do you understand what I'm saying, Dantes?
As long as they see you online, Sheik, and they think that you can say it a day for them, but it don't work like that.
I'm serious, man. And it ain't no disrespect. Like, that's disrespectful to me for somebody to see me online and then call me and try to spill all this and see me all this. Look at it. For what? Come on, man. That's disrespectful.
Especially if they haven't communicated it the right way with you.
I mean, nothing. And then as soon as brothers get in trouble, what's the first thing they do? They get a court-appointed attorney. They pay something, they do something. And that's why I say this is poor science to a lot of people. That's why we created our own temple and school. People go to churches and do all that and give donations. I say, listen, if a person wants sound counsel, if a person wants something that's real, they see how we operate. And that was somebody named Scoob L on YouTube. And that's what I'll be saying with no disrespect. Let's get to the teachers, man. But when we talk about human rights, I just give a little preface. Human rights, the history of human rights covers thousands of years and draws upon religious, cultural, philosophical, and legal developments throughout the recorded history. So just that interest, just that little sentence is so powerful. It seems to the concept of human rights is as old as civilization. It didn't say civil rights. It said human rights. This is evident from the fact that almost all the stages of mankind, there have been a human rights documents in one form or the other in existence. Always. Several ancient documents and later religious and philosophies, including a variety of concepts that may be considered to be human rights. Notable among such documents are the edicts, I messed my page up. The edicts of Ashoka, issued by Ashoka the Great of India between 272 and 231 BC, and the Constitution of Medina of 622 AD, drafted by Muhammad to mark a formal agreement between all of the significant tribes and families of Athrib, later known as Medina. I hope light bulbs is popping up. However, the idea for the protection of human rights grew after the tragic experience of 2 world wars. Y'all got to remember, man, Thomas Jefferson Quran, a lot of stuff in Thomas Jefferson Quran would tell you. You'd be like, wait, them songs they singing. when they called you a Corsica, a Berber, a pirate. But they know, or more anciently, they called themselves Amazigians. Amazigians. Because Negro, black, and color was never used to describe ethnicity in the first century. Never. And prior to the World War, there was not much codification done either at the national or the international level for the protection and implementation of human rights. Because remember, one of the hidden causes of the Civil War was what? Was what? Y'all know. I showed the book yesterday when I was breaking down that book by Tenzer, right?
Mm-hmm. You happen to just a tittle of black blood in you. Yep, that's right. The hidden cause of the Civil War, that's right. If you got that little blood in you, you was classified as a Negro. And then when we get with religious, biblical history from a scholarly perspective, I can say without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, without going outside the Bible, that Jesus, Yahshua, the black man, would be the father of civilization, proved by the Bible alone. Period. By the Bible. Not from what I'm saying, by the Bible. From no prejudice, from no doubt. From the pages in the Bible. We don't even have to go outside the Bible. And what we're doing right here is to seek to analyze the concept and approaches of human rights and its development even before the Greeks' time. In this regard, the period has been classified as pre-world wars and post-war eras. The later has been further divided into normative, foundation, institution, building, and stage of implementation. Several important documents like what they talk about, the Magna Carta, the French Declaration of the Rights of Man, the UDHR, the ICCPR, all those, a brief discussion of various approaches to human rights have been mentioned. So when we have civic class, when I be trying to tell more, it's like, man, I don't care what you think, because you cannot arbitrarily explain the law. You can like what somebody doing all day, but when it comes to the parameters of the law, you can play all you want to. A person can get on here and act like they some consular general of Morocco. They can get on here and act like they some president of Morocco. They're going to go to jail. I'm telling you, I already proved this a plethora of times. I already show people that sovereign citizen list, you know, the foreign and domestic terrorists. Islam. What state are you a part of? Are you stateless?
Come on. And when these brothers be talking about they're going to expatriate from this de facto government, I say, just like you said, Dantes, okay, well, who do you have affiliate with? Smart guy. You talk about you finna expatriate from this de facto government. What are you talking about?
Islam.
And where is you getting this dumb stuff from? Okay, so what you got? You got dual citizenship to who? To where? Where? Nowhere. Mm-hmm. That's asinine. Why don't you want to be an American? Because I'm an American. What type of American I am? I'm a Moorish American. What makes me the Moorish American? Because I was born here in America with Moroccan African descent. That's why.
And we're the copper color races.
And we the copper color races. That's an American. What is people talking about? Well, I'm a Moroccan. Okay, well, you can be that. But that's on you. Prove it.
They can't.
Got time to be arguing with no Moors, trying to overthrow some government, some stupid. I don't have time for that. I got bigger things going on in our lives. We build it. We're trying to leave a legacy for our babies. We're trying to teach our kids. We're trying to buy our community, our urban neighborhoods in plight. This is the opportunity to buy stuff and build and revitalize. This is the what? Great migration. When we migrate a certain area, what do we talk about? There's too many Moors that don't understand the religious rights, that understand that we taxes them for the federal government. We use our dollars that we give Uncle Sam to build infrastructure, but we don't know our human rights because we're talking about stuff that's irrelevant to people that know what I'm talking about. A lot of stuff that these Moors talk about is irrelevant to us. They don't make us no difference. We under our religious rights. A lot of stuff people don't understand. We giving our money away.
Identify as no 13th Amendment citizens. So it's not about us.
You, it ain't about you. Stay for your mouth, for the record. Is that stay who you are for the record? For the record?
Islam.
I mean,
Moorish American. You say you black, you're not a part of the human family.
No.
That's not how you identify.
What is the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? They say you got a right of a nationality and a right to change it. No one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. And the claim a child replaces the birth certificate. So what are we talking about? The religious laws trump everything. Talk about we are under our religious laws. So when people got to get the cocoa shot, we ain't got to get none. What they say, where's your religious affidavit? Here, right here. We ain't for or against nothing, but we flex our religious right, our human right. What? To say no, damn it. Not to go on no third party contract. It's against our religious doctrine, covering it. That's why. You understand?
It's long.
These is facts, man. And human rights are the rights of person. And I don't even like to say person because, I'm a stickler of words, because a lawyer will lie. Oh, when they put in person, that makes me know it ain't. It's the same thing as ownership. Y'all, if people be listening to the words coming out of my mouth in law, we have to be specific with the words, even though I'm using this for context. But y'all know that word person is not, it's still slavery too. It's just trick, it's trick science. You say what, Noble?
It could be fictitious. Your corporation is considered a person.
There you go. My brother listens.
It doesn't just apply to an individual.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Noble. That's why we can be a body. That's why, yes, you can do things individual when you have due process, but when we a body. And that's going to be explained as we continue to build. But with the rights that we have as a living, as a man, as a woman, flesh of my flesh, has simply because he or she is a human being. The human rights are held by all flesh of my flesh equally, universally, and forever. Remember, I talk about Charles A. Wiseman, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. See, this is the things I tell people. I already know you're already in trouble when I deal with things that's precedented. And a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. This is stuff they study on Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford. Charles A. Wiseman has a plethora of scholarly books. Talks about religion, talks about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is civics. And we break all that stuff down. I was able to take a lot of the courses in academia, and I still have a lot of the books and the course work. I still have it. And I share it with my muftis. So we can have a clear understanding how to operate when people just be all in their feelings. And we can say, oh, man, you need to really get right. Because one, our brother, our sheikh, has already showed you the precedent in law that is going to trump what you're doing. It's just what it is. I'm not saying you can't get away with things sometimes with regular foot patrol cops, but that ain't how we ain't rocking like that. But all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. When I talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When I talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. See, people talk about, no, we got to be free because we slave. I ain't no slave. What I'm talking about, when I tell my brothers and sisters, what you're doing, you got to restore yourself back to your original state. I've never been a slave. I don't have any slave blood in me. I'm not saying there wasn't no slave, but I've never been a slave. My family ain't never been no slave. My family ain't from Africa. My family ain't come over here on no boat. Not mine. And I ain't saying nobody, but mine haven't. And why should I take that? And why should I take that upon me? And why should you take that upon you? Your family might have been from the 5 civilized tribes. You may not have no slavery in your family.
It's long.
Hell, I'm just being honest. Stop taking the worst of you and saying everybody is this. No, I talk about your coat of armor, your family crest. See where you from.
Wow. And that's why dignity is important.
Go ahead, Noble.
I was just going
to say what, Noble?
That's why the Burning Bush Tabernacle and what we're doing here, Sheik, and with your leadership and guidance as a map, this is what we're doing because they're not learning that in school. They're when they go to school and when they learn about when someone else tries to teach them their history, they are told and taught our youth that the Moors, the copper-colored races in certain institutions, they are taught that they were in physical slavery, chattel slavery, their families, and they grow up feeling that. And what we're telling them is something totally different. And we're telling them something totally different to go deeper, go further back before that time period. And then you may understand who you are.
Islam.
And it didn't start with no chattel slavery and chains.
Islam. And it's just what it is, Dante. And there's so many first century writers that talk about like Godfrey Higgins. Like Godfrey Higgins, the analysis of so much religious history, you'd be like, uh-oh. And then we deal with historical, when people say, oh, the Moors were some Arabs. Yeah, let's deal with historically what an Arab is. From Vladimir Dale dictionary, an A-R-A-P, a dark colored person. See, these is facts. Let's deal with Bertram Thomas and his book, The Arab. Bertram Thomas lived with the ancient Arabs. And Bertram Thomas will tell you who the ancient Arab is. See, these is keys that we must understand. Hell, even the Book of Mormon tell you who the true Indian is. The Book of Mormon tell you who the true Indian is. Read it for yourself. You see? We are endowed with reason and consciousness and should act towards one another in spirit of brotherhood. Human beings have an intrinsic value, absent in inanimate objects. See, we have that. The Bible says we're supposed to be masters over what? The animals, the creepy things, the plants. Come on. To violate a human right would therefore be a failure to recognize the worth of human life. To violate a human right would therefore be a failure to recognize the worth of a human life. You see? Human rights is a concept that has been constantly evolving throughout human history. They have been intrinsically tied to laws, customs, religions throughout the ages. When we talk about our religious rights, what are our religious rights? We have the right to have our leaders, our sheiks, our elders. We have the right to have our own regalia. We have the right to have our own teachers. We have the right to have our own books. We have the right to use public access if we're going to be teaching the right way. We have the right to do this. We're not here to overthrow no government. That ain't how I rock. We're not over here to confuse no one. Our idea for our salvation and failure to obey these orders will be what? A severe consequences. Why? Because we are here for love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. And when these orders are violated, justice must then take its course. And if you want to abide by these laws and these commandments, turn in your card, turn in your fez, cease wearing all that, and go to the state I, the prophet, found you. See, that's what this is all about. We're here for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's it. I'm not here to overthrow no government. I'm acting like some old living color videos where you're using all these big words. You see this? Then get the Black Laws Dictionary. Then you go to Amazon and work. Man, shut up. Or your wife on welfare and your wife getting government assistance. Well, then she a government agent. Hell, I mean, come on, man. Shit. The concept of human rights. A person has simply because he or she is human. That's what we're talking about. You got to remember this. I'll give you all a little analogy. Most societies have traditions similar to the golden rule of do unto others as you will have them do unto you. The Hindus, the Vedas in our Quran, Moore's Quran, the Hindus, the Vistas, all the stuff is in our Moore's Quran and the Bible. The Babylonian code of Hammurabi or Hammurabi, the Bible, the Quran with the K or a Q, and the Analects of Confucius are 5 of the oldest written sources which address questions of people's duties, rights, and responsibilities. If you're a philosopher, it's all going to synchronize. You see, different countries ensure these rights in different ways. India, they are contained in the Constitution as fundamental rights. They are guaranteed statutorily. In the UK, they are available through what? Precedents. Various elements have been laid down by the courts through what? Case law. Case law. When I talk about precedent and law cases, doc number, the Free Information Act. Write this stuff down when these people be lying. When I talk about, I can look it up. Precedent and law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. These people it be false. They be criminals or just be some traffic violation. But watch this. When you put your car in drive, well, I almost gave it away. When you put your car in move, do it say drive or traveling? Which one?
Drive.
Okay. I ain't got to go no more with these people. I ain't got to go no more with these people that want to. Well, I ain't going there with you. I ain't going there with you. I'm gonna let you just let that marinate and whatever. Because I don't get into little small things that don't concern me. Because I'm driving with a license. I'm driving with insurance. Don't give it. I'm gonna keep it. You got a problem with that? Fine. Couldn't be driving none of my trucks if we doing trucking and we importing and exporting. And you talk about you ain't got no license, you ain't gonna have no insurance. Great. You won't be making no bag. It's fine. You still be on welfare. That's fine. Because you being ignorant. Great. In addition, international law and conventions also provide certain safeguards. Human rights refer to the basic rights. Human rights refer to the basic rights. So once again, I'm not talking about nothing complex. I'm still in elementary wisdom. I'm still giving a schoolmaster. Like Dante said, they don't teach this in school. How I know? Because I graduated through academia. I'm telling you, I've lectured oral. I've done oral dissertations. I've done written dissertations. I've done oral dissertations in front of so many professors. I'm telling you, what I'm saying, you can look it up yourself. Most of us, we don't know. Most of us, we don't know. We talk about some civil rights. But where you think civil rights, they got to come from somewhere. So what makes you civil? Human rights is basics. Basics. So you don't even, most individuals, the acronym NBCs, Negro, Black, and Colored, they don't even know the basic human rights, Noble Dantes. But I bet you we know everything on love and hip hop. But what about our babies? These basic rights and freedoms to which all humans are entitled. All humans are entitled. It didn't say all persons are entitled. It said all humans are entitled. I hope y'all seeing the difference of words and vernacular and linguistics that I'm using. Are you catching what I'm saying? Dantes, you already said it. A human is a flesh of my flesh, a blood of my blood. A human. A person can be what? Entities, things, ownership, person, place, or thing. Am I right about it?
Islam.
Okay. Okay. Examples of rights and freedoms which have come to commonly thought of as human rights include what? Include. So to know your human rights, that's when you're going to understand the civil rights and political rights. When they say, state, the church and state don't go together. Yes, they do. Your nationality and spirituality go together. That's why they take this from you. I'm giving back your 2/5 that was taken from you. You got to feel what I'm saying. You have to. Unless you're a criminal. Unless you're breaking the law, which you already done, and we got to pay for that. Some more got to pay for the stuff they've been doing, that sovereign citizen stuff, that paper trail stuff. That's on you. No one told you to do that, but a lot of times the lower self get caught up in those things. I'm not disrespecting no one, but the lower self do catch you up. I tell every morning when you deal with me, the divine comes first. I can look in your eyes and see where your mental at. Why? Because the words that are coming out of your mouth. You think the fruit gonna be different from the damn branch? If the branch all polluted, the fruit coming out rotten as hell.
And it's perfect as a seed.
Come on, Noble. There's no disrespect to no one. Oh, we can't judge, man, when they coming at us at a certain angle. The spirit does that. I'm just a vessel. But such as the right to life, liberty, freedom, expression, equality before the law. Before the law. This when I be telling people, me and my brothers ain't marching. We a fraternal order. So when we marching, we get a permit. We don't do nothing that ain't done the right way. When you mad at the Ku Klux Klan with their guns, they got a permit. The same way we could get one. When they armed, I got the Muftis of Allah, our security. Hell, if they're going to be armed, they're going to be armed. Nobody going to be illegal. When we do things, it's done the right way. Because I'm a leader, I organize, and I'm under the Holy Spirit. We're going to do things the right way when we can never be shut down. I don't leave nobody in no burning house. Never. Understand what I'm saying? We a principality. A human right is a universal moral right, something which all men everywhere at all times ought to have, something of which no one may be deprived without a grave affront to justice, something which is owing to every human simply because he is human. Human rights are inalienable. I hope y'all brothers are listening to me. Human rights are inalienable. The Constitution has never been abolished. So what we got to change? We must what? Defend the Constitution. That's why I be laughing at these Moors. The prophet done the work. I continue to illuminate it and make it as simple. How? For a child can understand it. It's in there. As Hein Ketchup says. You cannot lose. You say what, Noble?
I was going to define inalienable for the folks unable to be taken away from or given away by the possessor. We say
so that means just like when I say no one can arbitrarily explain who you are.
Islam.
Can't nobody just come to tell you, yes, you is. No, I ain't. Yes, you is. No, you ain't. Yeah, you can't play that. I done told you. I tell you out of my mouth. They can't take those. These are your inalienable. You cannot lose these rights any more than you can cease being a human being. Human rights are indivisible. Do you want to give the definition for indivisible, my brother?
Islam.
Islam. Islam.
When we talk about indivisible, unable to be divided or separated.
Woo!
Unable to be divided or separated. Like when they say that we Ethiopians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we say that, just as far as the people divided or separated, they try to say that, but we're not divided or separated. We in peace. We whole. We 5/5.
Come on.
We know who we are.
Come on. Are we going to tell you out of our mouth? For the record, indivisible. And when we come together, we under our religious rights. We're indivisible. You cannot be denied a right, especially your religious right or your human right. You can't be denied a right because it is less important or non-essential. Just let me give another factor. When anytime you see everybody all this anti-Semitic, and I told y'all no disrespect, I can show you where that's made up from. I did the oral dissertation in academia at GCU, showed you who came up with anti-Semitic. Then I jumped in a Jewish encyclopedia. I say, when you say black to me, it's anti-Semitic. And I'm not black. That's why, because black preachers, they don't have lawyer and client confidentiality. A black preacher, you tell something to a black preacher, he gonna get subpoenaed to the court. Why? Because his black bleepity bleep don't have no human rights. I hope y'all listening to me. 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 Yeah. Message. I hope they listening.
That let you know something there.
I hope so. I just told you. I said something about government workers before. I just said something. So I hope people put 1 and 1 and make it 2.
Even if you black at a Catholic church. How about that, Sheik?
Well, I hope. Then again, I think that priest is talking behind closed doors to a selected few, letting a certain know. But I'm telling them all, I'm not considered black. I'm not no black preacher. I'm a high priest. I'm a rabbi. I'm a sheik. I'm a Moor. I don't put nothing on my vernacular that's dead, because if our freedom is connected to law and court procedures and things, why would I use things, words and phrases in a court of law that I know that's anonymous to slavery? Why would I use these things that's meaningless in that arena? Why? Why would I even come as a defendant of anything with something over me that I know is dead? Clearly, that's going to make me look like a fool. Like saying, yeah, we black men and we know the law. We know who we are. That's an oxymoron.
Exactly.
That's an oxymoron. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Because if you was a can of sardines, they said that you was a sardine. You don't know what type of fish you should know what type of fish you came from, but they repackaged you, cut up a few different ones, and now they call you a sardine. And you talking about talking about you a sardine freedom.
Yeah,
that's not how it worked.
Yeah,
where did you come from before they labeled you a sardine?
Yeah, what's your appellation? You tell me they want to know the appellation of grapes and the wine connoisseurs, and I'm glad you even said that, Noble Dantes. NBCs and Moors and these so-called Hebrew Israelites, and Hebrew ain't nothing but an act. They be so worried about where somebody else come from, but can't even agree to who we are. That's the crazy retarded part about all this. You so worried about who somebody not, but y'all ain't gonna worry about who y'all are and coming together as one body. Like, it don't make sense. But hey, that work is not for me neither. I'm not gonna argue with that as well. That ain't for me to do.
You called up teaching division, Sheik.
Yeah.
Separation.
We ain't got time for that. You know? So it's so many levels that we want to illuminate things of human rights, you know? When we talk about these basic rights, morals and all that thing, which men and women have, you know? Framework. Another definition for human rights is those basic standards without which people cannot live in. Dignity. To violate someone's human rights is to treat that person as though he or she was not a human being. Think about that. So why would we tell our kids we some Negro, Black, and colored African American? Because those not human beings. They were only created by your creator. So who created the human? So who created the Black man, the Negro? Who created you? Which is an oxymoron. To advocate human rights is to demand that the human dignity of all people be respected. All people be respected with what? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If we made in the image of the creator, how can you be a slave? I'll wait. You talk about you a Hebrew Israelite. I tell you I'm from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. I just told you that. In claiming these human rights, everyone also accepts the responsibility not to infringe on the rights of others and to support those whose rights are abused or denied. That's why I say we have the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We're not here to treat anyone unjust, but we have every right to say who we are, and you have every right to say who you are. I ain't mad at you. I know who I am, for the record. And I only care about those that understand like me. The rest, I can live with you on this earth plane. I don't have no problem with you as long as you don't disrespect me. I don't have no problem with nobody's sexual orientation. Well, why should I care? If I was a bluebird, why I got a problem with a red bird or a pigeon? If I was a koala bear, why I got a problem with a black bird or a grizzly bear? I don't have no problem with them. I know what we have two different makeups. Hell, it ain't no problem with me dealing with my own and having compassion for everything else. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And if people want to have mixed families, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Nothing to me. Nothing to me. In claiming these human rights, everyone also accepts the responsibility not to infringe on the rights of others and to support those whose rights are abused or denied. So when we talk about basic requirements for human rights, any society that is protected human rights must have the following characteristics: a de jure or free state in which the right to self-determination and rule of law exist. I hope people understand that. People be leaving all these dictator countries in Africa and the so-called Middle East and all these dictator countries that come here in America where it's religious freedoms. And then here is these Negro Moors that listen to some Negro on the internet talk about they want to expatriate from this de facto government. Well, where your retarded bleepity bleep finna have affiliate with? Where? And people will lose their life and kind of get their kids here to have a better life. And you talk about you want to expatriate from this de facto government? Are you stupid? Clearly you are. Clearly. We weren't about some Donald Trump or some president. I told you they all in the same fraternity. I told you when we know who we are, you vote on what? Law and policy. If you're going to vote for a party, what's the agenda? You don't even know the agenda. I told you, it's all electoral college is already done. So then what? You will vote on law and policy. If you vote in the Democrat and Republican, whatever, that's on you. Well, then what's your agenda? You see, I'm not here to tell nobody what to do. I'm telling you what we can do. Effective, organized. You want to say something, Noble?
I was going to say that the jury, when we look at the jury, DEJURE, so we're meaning pretty much by law or of law. So the opposite would we use the de facto. With that, we could say you're acting outside of the law.
Yes.
When you look,
and I just said it, and I said in our proclamation and declaration, I said, remember, I read it. You know, all these are outside of the law. Return back. We're not here to overthrow no government. We're not here to cause confusion. Remember?
Yeah. With that being said, why would someone want to be de facto or act as if you are outside of the law?
See,
that's what we're at. Like, why are you? You know, these more sovereign citizens and the like. You're acting outside of the law that we all should be following. We all obey the law. And when you act in de facto, you're acting outside of the law.
They not even catching it.
The misunderstanding.
It clearly. And then when I come from an adapt wisdom, all adapt wisdom from that's before me, that's saying what I'm saying. Then what? Then what? And I show everybody how you operating wrong. Then when everybody get in trouble, when everybody start getting audited, when all this stuff happens, people be losing their jobs, losing their kids and all this, then what? Then everybody start disappearing like roaches when the lights cut on. And then everybody started disappearing. And all these word salad people using that semantics. And none of that mess worked for nobody. You get pulled over the side of the word, somebody come and talking a whole bunch of stuff about some secret goddamn meeting on some Jekyll Island. Man, what that got to do with you getting pulled over? See, this stupid stuff. And no disrespect. Come on, man. A legal system for the protection of human rights. So when these Moors get in trouble, who the first thing they do, they talk about they don't consent or they got some court-appointed attorney. You don't even have no legal system for the protection of human rights. Who's your legal service that got your best interest for all these group of Moors and people paying a retainer fee for because you operating right and they can speak on your character? I can't speak on nobody's character on the internet. I don't know these people. I know y'all, how we met. We all from different states. We all done been each other families. We going on 7 years being each other. We going on our 6 Moors ball and event. We family. We know each other's character. We donate. That's standing on our square. We support our organization. Our brick and mortar is coming soon. That's what we doing when a few men come together. With a few men come together, we can do magnanimous things. But effective, organized, existing within the framework of the state, or unorganized, guaranteed. Classification, human rights have been divided into 3 categories. First generation rights, which include civil and political rights. Second generation rights, such as economic, social, and cultural rights. Third generation rights, such as the right of self-determination and the right to participate in the benefits from mankind's common heritage. Human rights may be either positive or negative. An example of the former is the right to a fair trial, and an example of the latter is the right not to be tortured. So you got all different type approaches to human rights. You know, you have the natural law approach, and just like if a Moor want to just be, I call them sassy. Well, clearly you're not under adapt wisdom because law governs all events. And if you're a Moor, you some sheep, you should understand this. Law governs all events, so you can't be playing like some 10-10-9 number, some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. You can't be playing like some AA2 number is some magical, and it wasn't nothing but an ISBN number where you could look something up, and they done took it out of the Library of Congress. Now you're gonna have to be honest now, because I have all of the documents, you know. And so we're not gonna send nobody to no burning house just because we've been lied to by a whole bunch of older gatekeepers. It's not happening this way. It's not gonna happen. It's not. Just because your feds don't make you a holy man because it's black, your wisdom do. And then you got to share the truth. And the truth will what? Make you free. The truth will make you free. So
human rights are electromagnetic, and that's
yes.
been. So how can you be outside of that?
And of course, when we break down law governs all events, we're gonna have to do that again, which all the muftis has, so we can be clear. And I challenge all Moors, they need it. But you have the natural law, the theory focused on natural law that is higher than positive law created by man, and to which the later must conform. Natural law is based on equality. However, since it employs means such as revelation of divine will, transcendental cognition, and participation in natural reason, none of its claims can be conclusively confirmed or rejected. Then you got the historical approach, the positivist approach, the Merrick's approach. I don't want to break all of them down. These are all these different approaches that if you under a great sensei, a great teacher, they're going to share this. You're going to go over these concepts. You're going to know them like a rap song. You're going to understand this. And if anything happened, if you get pulled over unjustly, you're not going to be arguing with nobody that went to goddamn police academy for 2 weeks. Talk about, do you know the law? No, he don't know the law. He didn't go to law school. He went to police academy for 2 weeks, eating donuts. Come on. You understand your rights. You go to court and you defend yourself. You don't call no confrontation. If they want license, registration, proof, insurance, you can do that. But any other people, I'm not arguing with those Moors that's finna be like, well, I don't have this. I ain't for you. I am not for you. I am not for you. And I'm not answering your questions. My words should sound like Chinese to you when I'm talking. I keep telling a lot of these Moors that no disrespect, that ain't fixed their mental. I'm not for you. You can't even comprehend what I'm saying. And then I take my teeth out as a teacher. Social science approach, the human right in pre-world, all those different approaches in history that we should have a clear understanding about. So I just wanted to touch some things and let us have a clear understanding and start questioning your human rights and who we are as a people. Because our nationality and our spirituality, it go hand in hand. And if you have a clear understanding, if you study more science the right way, if you understand that God and man is one and it's nothing outside yourself, then you can have a clear understanding. But as a people today, I just want to know your human rights, the Declaration of Human Rights, the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. I've said that over and over and over. That should make antennas go up. The Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, clearly states that you have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. And to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. I don't have time for a whole bunch of no disrespect, of a whole bunch of our old elders still on their knees, talk about Jesus gonna fix it. I'm not here for that. I'm not disrespecting it, but come on, man. What about you? I tell them, who are your babies? Who are we as a people? Because it's nothing wrong with our nationality and spirituality. And today is more relevant than it is today because we're not no 14th Amendment Negroes. We're not black. We're not African American. All those are misnomers. All those are synonymous to slavery. The Dred Scott Law was never abolished. Listen to what I'm saying. Abraham Lincoln defended the Moore in court. It was the Spencer and Dungy case. Research these things. Why would we want to be called something that's the scum of the earth? We have human rights. And if you don't understand, like the word Moor, well, then we call ourselves ancient Amazigians. We were always free. Always. Even when you're dealing with the free Hebrews of Israel Hill. Come on, brothers and sisters. We have to stand up and arise. Just right now, a lot of our elders, they got us here. Our mothers, our fathers. But just right now, you can ask somebody right now, an elder, or if your auntie or your mom are next to you, ask them, what do they think kumbaya mean? I guarantee you, ask them what they gonna say. Ask them. I guarantee you, they all gonna say the same thing. I guarantee you, because what they're going to do is pass down things that they heard, but they ain't going to research the lexicon like I had to do and tell you it don't mean what they saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. And that's the same thing when they do in the church. They preach it to you, but they ain't teaching you nothing. No disrespect to no one. That's why nobody life change. There's no accountability. You know, kumbaya, they say, come by here. But come by here and do what? You can't even prove that the kum, the ba, and the ya, some come by here. Come by here and do what? Stand up and arise, the kum, the ba, and the ya. It's just like in the church when they be talking to singing some Amazing Grace. And I tell church people, why do you sing that song in the church? They can't even tell you. They're like, that song ain't about you. This is what I'm saying, the misconceptions of who we are in the church, in the schools, the misconcept of who we are. Carter G. Woodson told us the miseducation of the Negro. George G.M. James told you a stolen legacy. Greek history is nothing but stolen Egyptian, watered down history. So when we break history down, nationality and spirituality, we can't be afraid of ourselves. My dad is an elder, 78. He like the thing that a lot of misnumbered black people, what are we afraid of? Who are you afraid? Like you gonna make somebody like you afraid to make who mad? How? You ain't doing nothing that can't be proven. That's already been proven historically. We ain't trying to overthrow no one, but we tell you, wait, contraire move frere. We're going to tell you who we are. And we're going to stand up and arise. And we're going to stand right next to something that's real. And because we can, just like everybody else been doing. Just like everybody else been doing. And when they speak negatively of you, they can make up a phrase called no disrespect to no one, anti-Semitic. To try to shut you down, to try to say what you're saying about them is anti-Semitic. But I can tell you as a scholar and an elder, I'll have the pleasure to lecture this out of my mouth and show you where that whole phrase anti-Semitic came from. It's made up. And I use the Jewish encyclopedia to tell you exactly who they say they are from no biasness. And I'm just using my professor's words. They were like, just like how Nick Cannon, when he had Professor Griff on there and he had to apologize, he said, you wouldn't have had to apologize because they would have already known when you come. I ain't coming with no conspiracy. I ain't coming with no conspiracy. I don't have to. I'm going to come with your book that you profess. Got to come with that. And I'm going to show you where that stuff was made up at. From their books. That and put on and blow the dust off of them. This is no bias. How can it be biased and it's written? If a European wrote a book called The Negro is a Beast and I fact checked that at academia, what are we talking about? We can't be afraid anymore. Just like our elder wrote the book, The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. Well, we ain't rocking with that today. We ain't rocking with that. We ain't rocking that. Is this dial better than that one? No, this dial ain't better than that one, or that one better than this one. But you can be proud of who you are. No, your skin is not no damn curse. No, your hair ain't no curse. You ain't got to say you better or this, but you just as good. You just as good. You don't have to say you better than, but you know who you are. You proud of who you are. We giving our proudness back. That's what we're here to do. That's what we talk about. And if you don't like more, well, you an ancient Amazigian. I don't care who like it. The Declaration of Human Rights tell you you have the right of a nationality and the right to change it. And the claim a child replaces the birth certificate. It's nothing for us to be afraid of anymore. And when it comes to spirituality and religion and history, we just been taught wrong, brothers and sisters. That's all. And if we want to be resurrected, we have to get the right science. And here at the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we teach the right science. We are people. We're not afraid of no holy books, baby. We are the holy books. What are we talking about? We teach the holy books. You are history. You everything. You are the Egyptian. You are the Israelite. You are the ancient European. You are the ancient Greek. What are we talking about? Any questions, brothers and sisters, as we close? Any questions?
Islam. Well, I just wanted to say, high honors, Sheikh, and gratitude for, today's the lecture lesson, just the history of human rights. A couple of days ago, a lot of copper color races, Moors, confused, still walking in a certain way that just haven't been introduced properly to the right history. A couple of days ago, we just celebrated Juneteenth. So how would you compare, that with what we just covered today with human rights? I mean, how could you even believe in Juneteenth and what we say Juneteenth is about to an extent after learning today about just the history of human rights and what that consists of?
See, Dantes, that's the whole thing about. Remember the other document, the black man's Constitution, a lot of freedom. What they talk about in these documents, they just threw holidays in our face, and we gravitated them. I'll give the analogy like this, and make this might be a little better analogy. Just like misnomer black people, religious people, pro-blacks, they love Kwanzaa, don't they?
Islam,
right? Okay, so they love Kwanzaa, and they argue all day. Like I said, hate has no jurisdiction color with me. Atrocity has no color to do with me. That's the mental. So when you're dealing with a figure, when we research what is a Kwanzaa all about and who created that concept of Kwanzaa, you're going to start researching Ron Karenga. You're going to start seeing the things that he's done. So we always gravitate to these things to make us feel good. Just like in the Bible, they left a lot of those things in the Bible to convert everybody to the certain Christendom. We'll leave birthdays, we'll leave Easter, we'll leave all these things in your book where you can put all your stuff down and come to this. So when we talk about celebration, and here go another one. We just don't have the right science to kind of compare, because there's so much we can say, like the 4th of July. Everybody think the 4th of July, the 4th of July, but we know that's a cosmic event. We know that's the day of the Kiefer. It's so much more to that, to where a person, they just don't have the science to be like, wait a minute. We don't have no aha moments to compare to. We have none. So all we have is what's been given to us. So when we sit down and we can start analyzing things and say, well, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this? Just like Indigenous People Day. How many misnumbered black people celebrate Indigenous People Day or week or however long you want to celebrate it? I don't know that many. You?
I don't know that many. Especially
they
called it Columbus Day for so long. And then just not behind that. It's long.
So, but for me, freedom. So they say June 18th, June 16th was the day. This and that. A lot of things I say, hey man, I just don't take the history of slaves as world history. I take that as a situation that happened, but the scope ain't big enough for me to look at that as all blacks per se. I don't even look at it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not all people. It's not all melanated people history. It's just not. You know, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make it that small or belittle it in that fashion, but that's not my history. Is that a part of some people's history? Yes, absolutely it is. But it's way more history than that. It's way more proof. I told y'all we were classified as things. A lot of things were stripped from us for not knowing. It's almost like getting caught up in a trick, wanting to trick it. I told y'all it's almost an analogy of Larry Bird trying to play Michael Jordan for his Big Mac, but Larry Bird don't have a Big Mac. So if Michael Jordan lose, he get his Big Mac. But if Michael Jordan win, what do he get from Larry Bird? Nothing. That means you don't even compete with nobody that can't compete with you. What is you doing? What point are you trying to prove? This is what I be telling us. Most of our dollars is spent outside of the community. Somebody hit me up today. I put in the text stream. He was like, "More, you should begin with the Moors, some. I know it's in Detroit, but a lot of these Moors, they be too worried about somebody else's money and don't understand the type of person I am. Because the more millions we get, it's in the community. That's why the Moors community will never have nothing. That's why I produce feds, all the regalia. Most of my stuff is selling natural people. That's why I say community. Community is supposed to be gravitating behind something and seeing that grow big. Not just gravitating behind somebody that say they're going to make a school and this, that, and the other, and then nobody can question that. I'm already a school. We already how to do things on the internet. We have a plethora. We have books. We have a full library. We have so much for the community, and that's why Moors are confused, Dantes, because they are willingly staying away. And I agree, and I say that wholeheartedly because a lot of adults are criminals. A lot of Moors got into this thinking they finna get some money, or they can solve some type of paper or run for some type of court case because they've been watching stuff on the internet. thinking they some sovereign citizens, and that's an oxymoron. Can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. Moors don't want to learn. We have a full library. Moors don't read and study. I tell a person, if you just take the time to study, you can save yourself. And then I tell you to study some more. Read, read, read. It was illegal for misnumbered Black people to read. It was illegal for misnumbered Black people to come together and do this, what we're doing. You had to have an overseer to do what we're doing. That's why I'm telling you the importance of the internet, using it in a positive way. Brothers don't want to study and read, and I done made it plain. It ain't like Jay-Z said, what more can I say? So only people that get in trouble is those, that's criminals, Dantes. Why? Because what I'm talking about can be easily been proved righteous, been proved, you know, clean glass to a dirty glass. So that's all I can say, you know. But for what our brothers and sisters, come on, I don't use Black. That's anti-Semitic to me. Don't nobody call me Black. Don't you come around me with that Black stuff or African American. I'm not that. And I would talk to you in a pleasant way, but if you keep coming with that niggas of a brother, we got a problem. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, because I already done told you I don't identify to that. So why would anybody that look like you be disrespectful? I don't get disrespected by Europeans or Arabians and Tralodites or different other nationalities. You know, most people call me noble or sheik or Mo. You know, don't nobody call me no Black man. If a Black man come to call me a Black man, clearly they know I don't identify as a Black man. Just because my skin is copper colored, that don't make me Black. Wow. Just like I'm Dr. Comedy, that don't make me Black. You know, I don't identify to that. So I love y'all, man. I hope this little small dissertation made some sense to you. Like I said, we've gathered and compiled a plethora of books for your understanding. We're going to be having more books come out as me and my noble start collaborating. We're going to start putting a lot of their thoughts on paper, because I save everything. And I tell our brothers and sisters, we have to write our own manuscripts, as I've been doing, as you guys been doing, as we growing in our spirit, because it has to be shared. And we're going to continue to clean this teaching up, regardless if it fill a room or clear it out. That's just how this work must be done. But I give honor and I give love and I give gratitude for everyone that took this time out of their day. But if y'all looking for turbans, fezzes, any more Shamerican regalia, y'all know, get with us, man. Get with the culture. With that being said, can we get our more Shamerican prayer? And if nobody don't have nothing out, I give y'all gratitude and we out.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Asha'ayah, Islam, Amen, peace, light, and illumination.
Peace, peace, peace.
You,
gratitude, man. Honors to you. Honors to you, man. High honors to everyone. High honors to Empress. High honors to everybody that's here. High honors to everyone on my personal YouTube page. Please subscribe to our Temple and School page, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And just hit us up, man, because we can build our community. We can't do this without you and I. We can't have unity without you and I. And I don't care if you don't identify as more. If you're a true light seeker, we have a common denominator. We can agree on some things if you have truth in your heart. And we can get to a level to where we synchronize. And that's what we want to do here. If we don't know, get into the know. And with that, as my noble Dantes said, much gratitude, much honor, and love is an action word here at the BBT. And we all about that action. And I love you all. Peace.
Yes.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seed sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you.